So, Allana, we've speaked about the design styles that you really enjoy, and we've talked about an aesthetic you don't like. But where do you really see the next 5 and 10 years of design style going or being influenced by?
That's a good question. I personally think, and maybe I'm being a little biased and basing this on my own personal experiences, but I think first of all, we'll be designing for retirees, baby boomers that are retiring, as well as millennials, millennials who are getting in a position to purchase and whatnot. The needs are a little different, but one thing that in my experience is millennials tend to be obviously first-time home buyers, or they're doing high-density type living, like they're living in a condo or whatnot. There's a lot of practicality driven in it. And then at the same time, with boomers and retiring, I see the importance of universal design and aging in place becoming something that builders and designers are going to do, I hope anyway, on a much more regular basis. And I say that because, and then I also have aging parents who will be building a home for as to whether or not they move in to it. That's another story. But that won't really matter, because the point is, I think that that type of home can attract a lot of different buyers. There are people who they may find a place they love and say, I'd love to be able to stay in this home forever, or I'd love to grow old in this home.
Let's go back to universal design.
Okay.
Break that down for me.
Okay.
Define universal design for our listeners.
Well, it's the principles are kind of the same. It's a little different when it's applied to residential than commercial, but universal design is just essentially about accessibility. It's about ease of use. So whether it's taking just the concept of ADA, which is the Americans with Disability Act, which was created to allow, people that are in wheelchairs access into places. I don't know what year it was that it was actually enforced per se, but now especially in new commercial buildings, it's done. It has to be done. It's part of code, and so it's basically like doorways. Having to be 3-foot doorways, having to have a 5-foot turnaround in bathrooms, for wheelchairs, having someone that having a floating type lavatory or vanity, so someone with a wheelchair can go and up against it and wash their hands. The thing is, we're seeing more of it in residential design, and in that case, it's sometimes it's still called universal design, but it might be called aging in place. So sometimes people will retrofit their home to do that, or people will just build for that. Another thing is like curbless showers, zero entry showers. So there are things where it's come a long way, and there's a lot of accessories and finishes, et cetera, that it doesn't have to read like it's a assisted living or a nursing home. It can be an aesthetic where it's not obvious, to the average person or the naked eye, but it's, a situation where you're building so that someone doesn't have to climb stairs. Maybe the primary bedroom and ensuite bath, it's on the main floor. There's 3-foot doorways everywhere. So considerations like that, that I think are just smart design, and I hope to see more of. And I think that some younger generations too are more conscious of these type of things, as well as the sustainable practice. I see more sustainable things, more retrofits of things. At least I hope. That's the direction I hope it goes in.
So universal design, sustainability in design. Speak to me about that a little bit. So it can be anything from the materials, the finished materials that are going in, how this is something that applies to the LEED program, right? So there's an entire checklist of criteria, and you have to earn points to get a certain rating, whether it's a platinum, a gold,
whatnot. It's in commercial buildings. That's for the commercial buildings. The LEED for homes is newer, but it's similar. There's probably a checklist. So yeah, it's about finished materials, what percentage is recycled, that they don't off-gas, that they don't have the VOCs, which stands for volatile organic compounds. It can be reuse. It's water efficiency. So when you see a lot of toilets and et cetera, there's ratings on toilets for water efficiency. There's the Energy Star ratings for like refrigerators and appliances. So all of these are just sort of lead to smart design, in my opinion, but they all count for sustainability.
Okay. So like
practices.
In your actual selection of materials, in the back of your head, is it like, where is this sourced? Is this a sustainable practice that they're sourcing this raw good from? Does that cross your mind as you're going through this?
Oh, yeah. I mean, even if I'm doing a residential project and we're not trying to get a LEED rating through the USGBC, I definitely think about that, because sometimes, even though the cost up front might be higher, the longevity of the material and also just the kind of the well-being of people in the home. So we all probably, well, you and I remember, I'm even a little older than you, but we certainly remember, like, the paints, and you would, how you could smell paint and the off-gassing that it would do and that type of thing. Now there's so many manufacturers, making low to no VOC paints that, it's not discussed quite as much anymore. It's almost become a standard in some ways.
A lot of the sustainable design, especially in our community in Boulder County, those are actually incorporated into some of the code requirements, right?
Right, exactly.
And what's fun is we've had clients where we've been able to do all formaldehyde free, right? Zero VOCs, no combustibles in the house,
Right.
And so it really, you can create an amazing indoor air environment. And, a lot of the building practices are going that way.
Right.
So as the building practices are changing and improving in sustainability, I think it's important to also, hey, are we being gentle to our planet? And so that's why I ask about, hey, where was this tile sourced? How was it sourced? Did it come locally, or is it from some other country? And how's that country supplying that material and getting the raw goods? And, is it a safe manufacturing practice all the way through?
Right.
So, and my generation and your generation and the generations behind us care so much more. And so I think that it's fun to be able to do this as the things of sustainability get more adopted by more people.
Right.
So it's fun.
Right.
Yeah.
And hopefully continue to become more affordable.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
So let's, I want to talk about the future competition of Allana Lavenue interiors. Okay. So my wife got an app on her phone, took a picture of our living room, and
I know where you're going with
the
this.
interior design ideas to decorate, interior decoration. It started placing furniture in our house, giving us links to be able to buy that furniture, showing us that, right? And this is an AI quick little photo thing. There's a lot more as AI continues to grow, applications continue to grow. What do you see is either a threat or the strength of not going with an AI or an application? Tell me your thoughts on that.
I'm on the fence about some of it. I don't want to say that I'm completely anti. It's also one of those things where you don't want to try to fight something that's inevitable.
Yeah.
It's happening. I don't want to say it's going to happen because it's happening. That being said, there's some frustration with it a bit. For example, on Facebook or Instagram, you'll see these photos and, to most people, they don't look at it, but just because I'm used to looking at a lot of photos of built environments, on some of them you can see it's not real because, for example, it might have a coffered ceiling and there's a light hanging where you absolutely couldn't hang a light, or they're showing a concept and people will have these responses like, wow, that's so amazing, or what. And then sometimes they'll show something where, well, that's not, structurally feasible, right? Mm-hmm. So sometimes I see things like that and I think, it's frustrating because they're showing things that some of it's not really possible or not realistic. That being said, the advantage of being able to select things and having it help as a tool, I can't totally knock that. It's just, to me, to lack that personal touch and to be working that way, I don't see how people can really get a complete story of who they are by that. It's more like a shopping cart, if you will, right?
I think going back to what you said earlier on is you got to know and understand. Right. And you get to know your clients and you help unpack what that is. And taking a photo and having this AI dump something in, I don't think they're going to be able to do the creative touches that you're able to do in design. I think it's going to be a tool that even you could use to say, hey, give me 5 design board ideas, with this. And it could probably populate that for you quicker.
Oh,
right.
From an efficiency standpoint, absolutely. And even if it took, software programs where, clients pay for the time to, I want to see a rendering of this, right? Well, it takes designers and architects time to create those, so if there become programs that can be faster, better, more efficient, and can do all of those same things, I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah,
I think a lot of architects and designers would be happy to save time on some of those things, right? Because I completely realize that my clients aren't me. That's why they hire me. They're not walking into a space and seeing what I already see, So the only way to take that picture I have is to do digital visual design boards, is to do SketchUp, is to have architects do Revit so they can walk through, But there's still that, and maybe it'll change, but there's still that computerized feel sometimes. It's like any design show that you've ever watched when they do they'll show the digital version of the room, the beforehand, and it's all software created digital, and then they'll show the real thing. It's still, it's still a computer, and it's not tangible and touchable, but it helps, of course. Yeah. It helps. So that's why I say I'm kind of on the fence because
it's here. It's not going anywhere.
So but if there are programs created like that can help me save me time.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have anything negative to say about that.
Yeah.
So
I just think that it's gonna open up more ideas for our clients. And sometimes it's like walking into a showroom though. In a showroom, there's 1,000 possible decisions.
Right.
And so you as a designer, this AI tool has to incorporate that into, and this is where I don't know if the AI will hit it yet, but to the heart of what that client wants.
Right.
And so I think you're good for a while. We'll see. We'll continue to see what happens.
I mean, again, like I said, there could be advantages to it. So, and I'm trying to keep an open mind to it.
Yeah. Hey, I want to thank you for coming on the show. And
thanks for having me.
Yeah. One more question.
Okay.
You and Marsh, if you go to dinner in Boulder County, where's your first number one top of the list pick?
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Just one.
I know. It's funny because I want to go to dinner at a place in Lyons actually tonight that we haven't tried. So I can't say that one yet, but this is someone used to work there that we used to manage there. I like to go to Krueger. It just has an amazing outdoor space and views.
Yes.
I like the interiors. They're classy, but kind of understated, also a little contemporary. They have some kind of lighting fixtures that are fun with some, neon type lights in them. But it's not overdone. Like they do a really good job of balancing the design, what the food is offering, because they have the glass and open area where they have a lot of the food, and then they have the views. So they did a great job of kind of incorporating all of those things,
Good.
together.
No, Krueger. It's an amazing place. I love that place too. So I just like to ask that and just kind of see what you think.
Yeah.
And
Now I'm thinking about a cocktail outside in Krueger.
There you go.
That'll have to happen soon.
Awesome. So if somebody wants to get in touch with you, what's some of the best ways they can get in contact with you?
They can, go to my website, first of all, for starters. And
What's your website address?
so it's www. And then it's my business name, Allana Lavenue Interiors. Allana is with 2 L's. Lavenue is like avenue with an L in front of it. Interiors.com. And then you can get in touch with me there via email. My mobile number is there. My home office number is there.
Oh, that's great. All right. No, that's great. Because I really hope that through this, more listeners will get to hear your story and, be interested and intrigued to have you as their designer. So.
And I would love that. I would love the opportunity. So thanks for having me.
You bet. This has been fun.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks for listening to Built by Insights. Tune in next Friday to hear more stories with a new guest.